Have you ever wondered why some touches spark deep connection while others feel empty or even uncomfortable? It's not just about technique. It's about understanding the body's natural language, how nerves, hormones, and emotions communicate during intimacy. Many men think arousal is purely physical, but the truth is, a woman's body responds to trust, comfort, and rhythm more than speed or strength. When you miss that rhythm, everything feels off for both of you. You might notice she pulls away or goes quiet, and you're left confused, even frustrated, thinking, "What did I do wrong?" You're not alone. Most men were never taught the science of touch, how blood flow, oxytocin, and the brain's sensory pathways create pleasure and connection. Today, I'll show you how to shift from mechanical to meaningful. You'll learn how the female body truly responds to gentle, attentive touch. No tricks, no pressure. Just simple, doctor-backed ways to build deeper physical trust and emotional safety, the foundation of real pleasure. Because when you understand her body's signals, you don't just improve intimacy, you build confidence, empathy, and connection. 3 things every lasting relationship needs. Let's be honest, intimacy is one of the most misunderstood parts of health. We talk about nutrition, exercise, even mental health, but touch, desire, connection, those stay hidden behind awkward silence and misinformation. Many men carry quiet anxiety about this. They want to make their partner feel loved, desired, and safe, yet they're unsure how. They've learned through movies, hearsay, or pressure from peers, not from science, and that creates confusion. Because in reality, female arousal isn't instant, it's layered. It begins in the brain long before it reaches the body. When a woman feels emotionally connected, her body releases hormones that enhance sensitivity and blood flow. Without that connection, the same physical act might feel mechanical, even uncomfortable. That's why so many couples struggle. One partner is focused on the how, while the other needs the why. Have you ever felt like you were doing everything right, but something was still missing? Maybe she seemed distracted or unresponsive, and you wondered if it was your fault. It's not about blame, it's about awareness. Our bodies speak a language of safety. If her nervous system senses stress or pressure, arousal shuts down. That's biology, not rejection. The body protects itself when it doesn't feel safe enough to open up. Understanding this changes everything. You stop guessing. You start listening, not just with your ears, but with your presence. You realize intimacy isn't a performance. It's communication between 2 nervous systems. And here's the good news. Anyone can learn this. With the right mindset and a few small shifts in touch, timing, and attention, you can build the kind of trust that turns physical closeness into something deeper, connection that lasts long after the moment ends. Now that we've understood why connection and awareness matter, let's explore how to apply that knowledge, calmly, respectfully, and with science on your side. These aren't moves, they're principles of human response, rooted in anatomy, hormones, and trust. First, start with the mind, not the body. Arousal begins in the brain. The limbic system, the emotional center, decides whether the body feels safe enough to relax. When a woman feels seen, appreciated, and respected, her body naturally responds. So before touch, create calm. Use gentle communication. Ask, don't assume. When you slow down the moment and express genuine interest, her nervous system releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone that lowers stress and heightens sensitivity. This isn't about being romantic. It's about creating physiological readiness. You're helping her body switch from alert to open, from defense to desire. That's what real foreplay means, preparing the body and the mind. Second, understand the role of blood flow. Just as exercise increases circulation, arousal depends on blood flow. The body sends blood to sensitive tissues through a process called vasodilation, driven by nitric oxide release. Stress, fatigue, and anxiety restrict this flow, reducing sensation. Gentle touch, warmth, and rhythmic pressure activate this natural response. Think of it like waking up the body slowly, not forcing it awake. This is why patience matters. Rushing only interrupts the body's natural chemistry. Encourage her to breathe deeply. Breathing signals the body to relax muscles and enhance oxygen delivery, key for pleasure and comfort. In medicine, we see how breath and circulation mirror emotional safety. The same applies here. Third, pay attention to sensory zones. The skin is the largest organ packed with nerve endings, but sensitivity varies across areas, and it changes depending on stress, hormones, and trust. Instead of going straight to expected places, explore gradually. The neck, inner arms, lower back. These areas contain mechanoreceptors that awaken the body's sensory pathways. This gradual approach activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and receive mode. Here's what most people miss. The body can't feel pleasure if it's still in fight or flight. By focusing on soft, consistent touch, you're helping her body switch to safe and connected. Fourth, communication is your most powerful tool. Medical research shows that verbal reassurance reduces cortisol levels, the stress hormone that blocks arousal. That's why silence or guesswork often backfires. Ask gentle, open questions. Does this feel good? Would you like me to slow down? It might feel awkward at first, but neurologically, it helps her stay present. You're not just touching, you're co-regulating her nervous system. You build trust through tone, timing, and feedback. And when you do, the body's pleasure response deepens naturally. Fifth, respect the role of timing and aftercare. Arousal isn't a switch, it's a rhythm. For women, the recovery phase, the period after stimulation, is just as meaningful as the act itself. Aftercare releases oxytocin, reduces inflammation, and strengthens emotional bonding. Something as simple as holding her, breathing together, or making eye contact can seal that sense of safety. In medical practice, we call this the parasympathetic rebound. It's the body's way of reinforcing positive memory. This is where confidence meets compassion. When you show that you care beyond the physical moment, you build deeper trust, the kind that enhances every future experience. Bonus insight: lifestyle and hormone balance matter too. Touch and connection thrive when both partners are healthy and energized. Low testosterone, high stress, poor sleep, these can all affect performance and emotional presence. It's not just about desire, it's about wellness. Simple habits make a difference. Regular exercise improves blood flow and stamina. A balanced diet supports hormone regulation. Limiting alcohol and managing stress improves sensitivity and confidence. When your body feels strong, your energy and focus follow. You become more attentive, patient, and aware, the foundation of meaningful intimacy. So, here's the truth. Good touch isn't about speed, tricks, or moves. It's about understanding biology and emotion working together. It's knowing that real pleasure happens when both partners feel safe, seen, and synchronized. As a doctor, I see it this way. Intimacy is an extension of overall health. When you learn how the body responds to trust, rhythm, and communication, you don't just improve your sex life. You improve your relationship, your confidence, and your emotional resilience. Because ultimately, intimacy isn't about performance, it's about presence. So, what have we really learned? Intimacy isn't a set of techniques. It's a conversation between two nervous systems, a mix of biology, trust, and emotional awareness. When you approach it with patience and curiosity, the body responds naturally. First, we talked about the mind-body connection. Arousal begins long before physical touch. It starts with emotional safety, the feeling of being seen and respected. That's what activates oxytocin and lowers stress hormones. Without that sense of safety, the body can't fully open up. Then we discussed blood flow and relaxation. Pleasure depends on circulation. When you slow down, breathe deeply, and let tension fade, the body shifts from fight or flight to rest and receive. That's where sensitivity grows. Next came communication, perhaps the most overlooked part. Asking what feels good, checking in gently, and staying present aren't signs of insecurity. They're signs of maturity. Science shows that verbal reassurance lowers cortisol, strengthens connection, and builds trust. Finally, we touched on timing and aftercare, the quiet moments after physical connection. They release hormones that reinforce emotional bonding and turn an act into a shared experience. Holding her, breathing together, or simply saying, "I'm here," helps both partners feel secure. When you understand these layers, intimacy becomes less about doing and more about being. Being aware, being kind, being connected. Always remember, the body doesn't lie. If something feels tense or disconnected, slow down and listen. The body will guide you when you stop rushing to control it. Every person is different, every moment unique. but the foundation stays the same: communication, patience, and care. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be present. That's where real confidence comes from. If there's one thing to take away from today, it's this: intimacy is not a skill to master, it's a connection to nurture. Your partner doesn't need you to be flawless. She needs you to be present, gentle, and aware. When you slow down, listen, and let science guide your touch, you create something stronger than pleasure. You create trust. As a doctor, I always remind my patients, good health includes emotional health. The body and mind work together. When you care for one, you strengthen the other. So take this knowledge as a starting point. Practice patience. Stay curious. Focus on connection, not perfection. And if you found this helpful, I'd love for you to join our growing community here. Subscribe to the channel for more calm, evidence-based guidance on intimacy, wellness, and the human body. I share new videos each week, grounded in science, spoken with empathy, designed to help you understand yourself and your partner better. Thank you for being here and for choosing to learn. Take care of your body, your confidence, and your relationships. I'm Dr. Rosalia Viterbo. See you next time.